Hello and welcome to another Drive-In Double Feature. I'm Ryan,
I'm Nathan.
and this is the podcast where we talk about two movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before I have anything at all, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/Drive-In Double Feature Podcast. You know, Nathan, I was at my local NASA facility the other
How did I
day, and
know? How did I know what you were gonna say?
I was looking, I was looking at the space suits and everything, and I thought that looked pretty cool. And I, somebody came up to me and it's like, "Oh yeah, but that was a good fit for those astronauts." And I said, "Yeah," and I said it does, and they said, "It's an even better fit is the Patreon for the Driving Double Feature podcast. It's got
hmm
some fun games, some fun conversations, just a good time between two friends having a good old laugh over there for only $5 a month." I said, "Oh yeah, that does sound like a good time." And they said, "I hope Nathan and Ryan realize how much we appreciate them." And I said, "I think they know."
I think they know. I think they know.
Anyway, like I said, it doesn't affect any regular content whatsoever. But today we are talking about 1940s, The Mark of Zorro, which is directed by Rouben M- Mamoulian.
Yeah, which Ryan, I always gotta say this. Can you believe we've done so many episodes? He's done a movie we've covered. Did
Oh
you know
yeah,
that?
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Yep, you got it. Yeah, Dr. Jekyll and
How did
Mr.
you
Hyde.
say his name?
I don't. I think me just looking at it, Rouben Mamoulian is how I would say it. All right? Is that like
Rouben
a weird? Is
Mamoulian.
that like a weird way to spell Reuben? Maybe.
Reuben.
Yeah. Email us,
Anyway,
please.
anyway, stand-up guy, that guy, I'm
Uh,
sure.
oh, I'm sure.
And anyway, this is a Zorro movie. I didn't have a whole lot of experience with Zorro because I did watch the Zorro TV show because it would play like I remember the black and white the show would play like on Disney like channel. Like Disney used to
Really?
be like really weird. Like there used to be like these like really late night Disney like at midnight sort of thing. They would play like really old Disney content like the Mickey Mouse Club or
Oh,
like
wow.
other black and white Disney shows like after midnight. And I remember they would play Zorro
Oh,
on
cool.
there. So I do remember watching episodes of Zorro there. I remember going to see the Antonio Banderas Zorro movie.
Oh, okay.
So, uh, and the reason why I picked this movie in general, and this is going to make me sound extremely nerdy, but okay. Anyway, I just started playing a new D&D campaign,
Okay.
and my character is kind of based off like sort of like a Zorro-esque type, or he's a
Okay.
rogue character, but I made him kind of like Zorro, where he's very,
Maybe chaotic good. Is that what
yeah,
is
like
that
a
what
little,
you'd say?
I guess so, yeah. But he's very theatrical, he's very flamboyant type of thing. So I thought it was kind of cool, and I kind of wanted to see something that reminded me of that. And this one is not the first iteration of Zorro, because Zorro actually started as a serial type of movie, I believe, before this.
That's what it looked like. It was a silent. It was well. It originally is based off of, according to this, a serial like installment in like weekly magazines, in like the 1900s, and then it got a silent film adaptation, and then we got this version.
Mhm.
Yeah, and let me say, I know nothing about Zorro. I have never seen a piece of Zorro media ever in my life. I've never seen the Banderas movies. I have talked to Steven Spielberg about Zorro once on like a AOL chat forever ago. But we
Oh,
don't have to get
Zorro
a
fan.
yeah Zorro fan because I know he's a big fan of Zorro, and I was like, hey, are you Steven Spielberg? And he said, yes, yes, I am. And you gotta believe what somebody's saying, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
If somebody tells you they're Steven Spielberg, I just believe them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've met Steven multiple times in my life. That dude's a chameleon. He might as well be an actor. He changes his look all the
Hmm.
time. But yeah, no, I have no Zorro experience, so this is my first time around with the character.
Yeah, and I was just interested to see if there was like an origin story. This movie actually is, I don't know if I couldn't find a black and white version, but this movie started as black and white, but it's very clearly like the ones that I found, at least on Tubi and YouTube,
Mhm.
were colorized movies.
Yeah, that's some of these movies. It's like that. This one wasn't bad, but you can just tell that because like there's a difference between Technicolor and colorized. Where colorized, we've talked about this before. It just feels very pale. Like it just like it just doesn't feel vibrant. It's just like it doesn't look great.
No, it's very obvious that when a movie is colorized.
Yeah.
I Some of the outfits in this movie, their colors were all over the place though.
Yes.
With
Yeah.
like Zorro's character Diego, he's got like this pink outfit or like this orange
Hmm.
one, and he's got this baby blue one.
Hmm.
I'm just like, were people really wearing these types of outfits back then?
I don't know. They made it like because this movie is very it's about Spaniards because it's about Span people from Spain in California in the 19th century, and they definitely play them flamboyant. Like they have like all these bright colors and really crazy costumes. And yeah, I don't know if people were really doing that, but I loved it. I thought the costume design in here made this movie really pop because, like you said, with the light blues and everything. But I wonder if that's actually what they were wearing, or if like
Well,
yeah,
that's
if
what I was wondering, or somebody just had like you know what? I think orange would look great on him.
yeah, Ted Danson was like, yeah, we gotta put this on here, right?
Ted Danson.
Ted Danson. Who's Ted Danson? Who's Ted Turner? Ted Turner.
I was like Ted from Cheers. Sam Malone from Cheers
Yeah,
is like
Sam
I think.
Malone from Cheers. Yeah, Ted Danson. And Ted Danson's a huge Zorro head. I talked to him on AIM chat as well.
I was
Zorro
like, what
fan
the hell are you
72.
talking
Whoops, slip of the tongue.
about?
Ted Turner. Ted Turner was
Yeah,
it was in the back, like, make that orange, please.
yeah. I could see him just watching every single black and white movie and just like, okay, this color, this outfit should be this color, they should be wearing this.
Yeah, absolutely insane. This is a tangent, but that he was going to do that to Citizen Kane of all movies. Why the hell do these movies even need color? There's no point.
I'm for it. I
Yeah,
think every
okay.
movie should be in color.
Well, okay. Yeah, sounds good. Nebraska in color, right?
Hmm.
And then I think Schindler's List it should have been the opposite, where most of it was in color, but like the things that
But
are black and white.
well, I mean, it's funny. It's funny you say that about Steven Spielberg. There was only like one character that had color, and then the movie wasn't finished. He turned in an unfinished movie.
And it won Best Picture. Come on, people. Let like
I know.
he couldn't have just let it like render for a little longer on his computer.
He
Uh,
had, he had a, he had a harsh deadline.
yeah, but I guess getting back to this one, um,
Yeah,
I like so Don Diego Vega, Zorro, played by Tyrone Power. He is the one that holds this movie up. Obviously, it's Zorro, but like man, like if I watch other Zorro things, I can only think that this is the archetype, like the role that people look to take from Zorro because he plays it really well. I really liked him in this role.
yeah. I, he's very, very charming. He's like
Mhm.
he has a very he has a very good role in the sense of he's like a very flamboyant type of guy. He really loves the people, and he has a flair for the theatrics.
Yeah. And that's what's so fun about the character because what it is, he has an alter ego, Zorro, but he has to play Don Diego Vega. And what it is it's this dynamic of like, he has to make people think he's the complete opposite of Zorro so he isn't caught out. And so Don Diego Vega is just like this, like, very, like, not boring, but just like a horrible person. He's just like, oh, can we not talk about politics? I don't care about the poors. Can I show you a magic trick real quick? And he does like a magic trick in front of everybody. His dad hates him so much. I thought those were the funniest bits in the movie when he's just pretending to be just like this jerk.
Well, yeah, I because the whole premise of this movie is that
Mhm.
he used to live in Mexico, but he goes to Spain for military training.
Yeah.
And when he does come back, he can kind of see that his parents have kind of lost power in Mexico, and that there's a new
Hmm.
lord-ish type of character taking over Mexico, and Mexico has become very corrupt to the fact that people are now taxed super heavily. They can no longer afford food, and the
Hmm.
people up there are just generally very upset about the whole thing. And going out there, he's just like, okay, well, and he kind of creates the Zorro persona, but now he's having to he kind of does kind of like what Batman does, where
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is kind of like this smarmy jerk womanizer type character. And this one,
Hmm.
he kind of plays up the fact that he's a very wealthy guy, where he's just
Yeah.
like, oh, like I'm just too rich, like I'm too rich to even care about all those poor people, and
Hmm.
uh treat, like is constantly like asking for servants' help and everything,
Oh
just to
wow.
kind of throw everybody off the scent that he's Zorro.
I'm so stupid. I'm so dumb. I guess like because Zorro is a huge part of the Batman lore, but I guess after watching this, I realized like, oh, how much of Batman is based around like this Zorro archetype. It's like basically the same deal. That's interesting.
Kind of is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But yeah, that dynamic is really fun, and he gets like into it, but it's almost like he gets back and he instantly decides he's going to become Zorro, because like he gets to the mansion, and there's and his father has been ousted, and then who is it that is playing the Don Luis, I believe is his name, the new leader of that area.
Right.
Yeah, and his like side man played by Basil Rathbone.
Right, which
Yeah,
Basil Rathbone is supposed to be, his name is Esteban Pasquale,
yeah,
but
oh
he
yeah,
is not, but he's still very, very British
oh
in
yeah,
this
very yeah.
movie.
He's not putting on an accent or anything like other people here. But I love Don Luis in this movie. Edward
J.
Bromberg.
Ed, yeah, J. Edward Bromberg.
Wow, what a character. He made me laugh so hard because he's like this bumbling idiot coward leader. And like anytime Zorro shows up, he's Zorro. Like he's just so terrified of Zorro. I love the character.
Right, they had that, and then because Zorro like kind of intimidates him, and Zorro puts like a sword to his neck, and he's just like,
Yeah.
"Don't move, otherwise you're gonna stab yourself."
Yeah, and Basil Rathbone comes in and is like, "Are you trying to kill yourself?"
Oh yeah,
Basil Rathbone's the real villain here. He's the one. He's like the devil whispering in his ear to like do all these bad things. And that's like the real adversary of this movie, the one that Zorro has to fight with, because Basil has he's also a really he's good at fencing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of like his main adversary in the end, because he's the only one that could actually put up a fight. But
Hmm.
um, Zorro's also always leaving like these calling cards, like you said. He's always putting up his very signature Z that he'll put into, like, he'll carve it into the wood, or he leaves like these threatening notes just based on like, I'm coming for your gold next type of
Hmm.
thing.
Yeah.
And uh, one thing I thought was a little silly about this was, he seems very guarded about not wanting to tell people. Like, I thought it was going to be like I said, like Batman, where
Mm.
he wasn't going to tell a lot of people that he was Zorro, but he tells a lot of people that he's Zorro.
Yeah, for a little bit there, he's very quiet about it, but then he reveals it to like all the main characters by the end. Because there's a friar in this movie that he hides the money with, and then like there's a love interest where like there's even a scene earlier in the movie where he's pretending to be a monk, I believe, or whatever you call those. Um, and reveals that he really finds the main woman in this movie named Lolita. Calls her how beautiful she is and
Like
all that.
oh yeah, and then Lolita specifies too. She's like, "Oh, I'm not even 18 yet," and I'm like, "Oh,
Yeah,
that's why her name is Lolita."
exactly. Yep, she is. I think she says like I have 8 months till I'm 18 is what, which is like, oh, okay. I don't know how old Zorro is in this movie.
I think
Um,
he was like, I think Tyrone Power at the time was like 26, I think. So
well, whatever. We just won't think about it. It was the
we're
19th
canceling,
century.
canceled.
Oh
Zorro's
yeah.
been canceled.
Yeah, we're going back and canceling Zorro. Yeah,
Uh,
we go to the new one, and Antonio Banderas is like 30, and Catherine Zeta-Jones is 17. Doubt it.
yeah, but
Oh
I
god.
I know I do want to mention the Friar because it's played by Eugene Pallett.
Hmm.
Uh, he always has such a distinct voice.
Oh yeah.
Like, because I've seen him now in quite a bit of movies, and whenever he does show up, you immediately recognize him. Not only because he looks different, like he always looks like uh you just don't see people like that in movies anymore. Where it's just like this guy just basically looks like a ball.
Yeah, he's
Kind
like a
of.
big guy. Like
Yeah,
he's a chunky guy, and not only that, he's got a face of like a man who's drank a lot in his life.
like a basset hound.
Yeah, exactly, with a very unique voice. But there's something likable about that. Like you said, like I feel like you don't see that as often, where there were specific character actors from that era that always filled these roles.
And he always too in every movie he's able, at least the ones I've seen, he's always singing. He has like a part where he sings, and he
Really,
just
I have to think about it.
yeah. So I just thought it was funny, but yeah, I don't. It turns out he's actually like a really good swordsman too. They're like, oh, like
Hmm.
I've never known a friar to be a swordsman.
Yeah, yeah, but he still gets defeated by Basil. Um, but
And
yeah, that
also too, he that's not the first time he played a friar because played a Friar Tuck in the Errol Flynn Robin Hood movie.
yes, you're right. Well, I mean, he just fits that. I think when you think of a friar, because I think even in the Robin Hood cartoon, which is probably based on that friar from the classic, because like, isn't the friar kind of fat in the Robin Hood cartoon? He's like a
Yeah,
badger.
but they don't have the same voice at all.
No,
But
no, they don't
yeah.
have the same voice, but I that's the look that I think of. Um,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, so that's a whole character going on. There's a romance, like a love triangle, a fake love triangle, because the Don has a wife, I think is Isabella, and she is smitten with Don Diego, and Don Diego is just trying everything in his power to make sure that this marriage gets split and they leave and go back to Spain. So he's like kind of wooing Isabella, but at the same time, he's like, "Oh, but I'm gonna marry Lolita, your daughter." But then no, well, no, they're like cousins.
Well,
They're
I think isn't Inez Lolita's
uh,
mom?
sorry, yes, Inez is her mom. Yes, sorry, I'm getting characters confused as always. But like it's like, oh, we'll never be caught out in public, and anybody will look strange because I'm married to her, so it'll actually be okay that we're having our romance on the side. Um,
Oh wow, and that would get you canceled.
yeah, that's kind of gross. That's kind of disgusting.
It's like
But
I'm going to be married to you, but I'm actually going to be dating your daughter.
yeah, which is so weird. But yeah, that's the plan between them. But of course, that's not what Zorro wants. He does love Lolita. And there is the great scene. I love the scene where basically he's going to have the hand of Lolita, and Lolita is forced into it. But Don Diego's playing his normal, like horrible self. So Lolita is
Mm.
absolutely like reviled by this man because he's just like gets tired, doesn't like dancing. I think they finish a dance and she was like, "Oh, that was the best dance I've ever had." And he said, "Oh, I've had better," or something like that, or like, "I'm so tired."
Right. He does not make a big deal about it, even though she's not really. He's trying to deter interest in him because
Hmm.
he doesn't want her to fall in love with him
Hmm.
as that. But he does kind of flirt with her as Zorro because, like you said, uh, he does impersonate a priest or a monk or something like that when they have like this little interaction where he has his face like cloaked in shadows and he's
Mhm.
giving her love advice, even though
Yeah.
he's just like, oh, like, is that a man you're interested in? Like,
Yeah, there was also the bit where she's like, "Oh yeah, they want me to be a nun. They want me to become a nunnery." And I think he goes, "No, don't do that." Just like, and it's like,
right.
"No, no, no, don't. You should do that." But no, he reveals to her that he's Zorro at one point. Just shows up in the mask and everything. It's like, "Yep, it's me. I'm Zorro."
Oh yeah, he tells her, he tells the friar, I think he tells his parents eventually, and
Eventually, the parents take a lot longer, which is kind of brutal because his dad hates him. His dad is like, "You are awful. You're an awful son. You don't care about anything." But he does reveal it at some point. I think he gets
mhm,
won over by Lolita because Lolita shows up, and then he takes a liking to her.
yeah, and eventually they do end up together at the end of the movie.
Hmm. Of course,
Um,
there's got to be a romance.
where I mean, after of course he does have a sword fight with Basil Rathbone. Which, how did you feel about the sword fighting?
It was fun. I actually really liked it. There's the scene in the castle where they're sword fighting and they kind of go around and it was cool because it was dynamic. It felt like they used the whole room. Like there's a part of that scene where there's like a little, um, just like a part of the wall where he's got to like crouch down and he's still sword fighting in there. It actually
Mhm.
was better handled than I would have expected.
Yeah, obviously it's not going to match any of the action of
Hmm.
today's standards, but for the time being, it's a very fun action scene
Oh
where
yeah.
they're going all throughout the little castle and they're
Hmm.
having this sword fight. And I do want to say too, Zorro does kill people in this movie.
Oh yeah, he's a murderer. Yeah.
It's-
Yeah.
like you like you, I guess it kind of surprised me because I thought it was going to be kind of like, which I mean, obviously, he has like a rapier,
Yeah.
so or like a fencing sword or whatever you want to call it, and I just like in the Disney show or whatever, he would always just like, oh, I'm just cutting a Z into your clothes, and it's like, oh, my clothes, and they run
Yeah.
off type of thing, and this one, they he just straight up stabs people, and
Yeah.
just and I guess I just wasn't expecting that for this movie. I guess I was kind of expecting like he would just like knock him out or something, or that
Hmm.
type of thing. But no, yeah, he does kill people in this
And
movie.
he's pretty ruthless too. Like there's that scene where he holds up the Don and his wife, and he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna cut your pretty little face, and I'm gonna slice your throat." Like
Hmm.
it's a little dark at times, which I guess I kind of like because that fits the character. It's like Robin Hood, right? Just like screw the
Yeah.
rich, and I'll take everything from you.
I did like a lot of the nighttime scenes. I liked how a lot of these scenes were lit, like in the scene
Hmm.
too, where um Don Diego and Lolita are in the church.
Hmm.
I really like the mood lighting on that one.
Yeah.
His face is like cast into shadows and
Yeah.
he's
Well,
trying really
oh, go ahead.
really
Sorry.
hard not to reveal his identity.
Yeah, there's I'm glad you brought that up because I would have forgotten, but that was something I noticed while watching because a lot of these scenes, because it's set in the 19th century, are candlelit. And you notice how like they would light candles and then a spotlight would slowly like start to form on the sections that they lit the candles to give it a little light. And I thought, yeah, I thought the lighting was actually really well done. They captured that old school feel really well.
Hmm. Definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, eventually, he is able to stop the L seed, and they're
Hmm.
able to restore power back into Mexico, and
Hmm.
everything kind of works out in the end. Uh, one thing too, I want to mention, and I don't normally mention these sort of things on
Okay.
the show, but did the outfit that Zorro would wear? Did you notice how like incredibly tight it was? It was just like you could
Oh,
see.
yeah, no, all the
uh,
characters really, all like a lot of the men had very tight pants, and yeah, you could, they weren't
like you could see
hiding.
like he yeah,
They
like
weren't
you could
hiding a
see
thing.
you could see everything almost.
Yes, no, I noticed that too. It was distracting. I was like,
It's
God,
like
their pants are so
because especially
tight.
Like especially like when Zorro would like turn around or Don Diego, and it's like his ass was just out. Like you could see like the whole shape
Get
of
the
it. It
whole
was so
thing.
weird.
Yeah, yeah, it was really weird. Like, yeah, his outfit was like that couldn't have been comfortable. That could not have been comfortable.
No, that would be awful to wear. That'd be
How many
like
did he rip?
that'd be like sitting on like a wire fence.
Yeah, right. My God. Yeah, no, I noticed that too. So that's funny.
Right. It's just something funny I wanted to point out.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I like I said, it was a very fun movie. I enjoyed actually seeing a lot of the similarities between this and Batman, and just like
Mhm.
realizing how similar they were. Um, I enjoyed a lot of the aspects of this where the action scenes, the lighting. By today's standards, it's not going to be match up to any other type of action movie, but for the time being, I would assume that was probably like a really fun action movie that people really did enjoy. So, for me, I mean, if any of this sounds interesting, I had a decent enough time with it. I would give it a recommend.
Well, I keep using the word love. I love this movie. I don't know. There was something about it that really just felt good. It was just a really fun movie. Had some great action sequences. I thought it was legitimately a good time. And it was just like, it's not going to do anything too surprising. Like, I knew the beats it was
No,
going to do, I knew like the romance. It was cliche, but like kind of like that classical movie cliche where it just feels comfy. And it was just a really comfy action movie. So I don't know. I really appreciated this one. I had a really great time with it. So I would highly recommend checking this one out.
well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Hmm.
But we're going to stop on Zora right now, I believe, and we're going to go on to what we're going to be doing next time. So, Nathan, why don't you go ahead and reveal what we're doing next time?
All right. Well, Ryan, we are back at it again with Sawzilla. And on Tuesday, the next Saw is going to be no, or Jigsaw. We're changing it up. We're going to be covering
That's a different
Jigsaw.
movie. That's a different movie, Nathan.
No, no, I swear to you. If it's wrong, if it's not the same, I will take it back. But Ryan, what is the next movie, the next Godzilla?
Well, Nathan, we are going to be talking about Godzilla versus Desudroya, and that is going to be streaming for free on Tubi.
Well, nice. I'm excited to watch that one.
All perfect. If you have any thoughts and opinions, please email us at driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to follow us on our Patreon at patreon.com/driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast. And once again, check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast. But until next time.
Until next time.